Welcome, Badass Manifester. I am so glad you are here. I'm your host and head coach, Ashley Gordon, master mindset and manifestation biz expert, founder of the Quantum Coaching certification, and multiple six-figure entrepreneur obsessed with empowering you to create quantum leaps in your energy, your life, and your business. This is the show to help you make magic your everyday normal, where the ripple effect is real and the guest experts are world class. My mission is to power your conscious and subconscious mind with manifestation teachings, business tools, and coaching techniques to put your potential into action. Consider this your weekly up level. Are you ready for quantum transformation? Let's do this. Hello, badass manifestors, and welcome back to a solo episode. I'm just smiling right now because in the middle of the night last night, I just woke up and I had this download, and what came through to me was like, I literally remember just opening my eyes and being like, oh, hold the frequency. Like that was what came through to me in my sleep. Hold the frequency. And I've been sitting with this question of how do I hold the frequency of what I want in my life, of what I'm creating, of what I'm manifesting? And what I feel like I have somewhat mastered is I feel like I know how to hold the frequency for myself. And now how do I translate that to be teachable? How do I translate that to give and gift to you? And what I have come to the realization of is that in order to hold the frequency, it doesn't mean that I never experienced self-doubt. It doesn't mean that I've never experienced imposter syndrome or fear of rejection or fear of embarrassment. I share so openly with you, you know that I do experience that. It doesn't mean that I'm immune to any of that. And it means that I have been more dedicated to the version of myself that I knew was possible. So I've been asked, what's your secret? Or what do you think sets you apart from other people that are trying to make it in this business or trying to grow a successful business or blah, blah, blah. And honestly, there's literally nothing that sets me apart except my ability and desire and declaration and devotion to deciding that I will become the type of person, and I am becoming every single day the type of person that lives the dream that I know I want to live. And I do it with conviction, and I do it with honesty within myself, and I do it from this pure place of a knowing, a deep knowing that this is what I'm meant for, even though there's still imposter syndrome, even though there's a voice inside that's like, maybe you shouldn't say that, or maybe you shouldn't post that, or how do you know that strategy is going to work, or what if it doesn't work, and what if you fail, and what if you this, and what if you're an embarrassment, and what if people in your town think you're weird, and all of those things, right? I'm more dedicated to the part of me that knows why I'm on this planet, what I'm here to do, what I'm here to give to the world, and how I'm meant to be a contribution. And that has always been a guiding force. And more than a guiding force, it has given me this urgency deep within my soul that's like, my life would probably be really bad if I didn't become the type of person. It would be a lot harder for me personally in my day-to-day life. And who knows what I would be doing? I might still be working in real estate, probably not. But who knows like what I would have done if I didn't decide to become the dream coach, if I didn't decide that this was my path, that this was my purpose. And I was willing to go through the hard things, right? The discomfort, the embarrassment, potential rejection. I was willing to face all of that because ultimately I knew my life would probably be harder if I went the other direction and didn't face it and kept myself safe and kept myself comfortable. Nothing about becoming who you ultimately dream yourself to be is comfortable. I actively seek discomfort. I actively put myself out there in places and spaces to be able to access new parts of myself, because ultimately that's where I'm teaching from. That's where I'm contributing from. So Imagine me being the voice for you that's on the other side of your fear, whatever your fear may be. And I'm on the other side of it saying, listen, you can do this. The water is warm. Dip your toe in, fuck around and find out and see what happens. How do we ultimately hold the frequency for anything in our life? The more we expand our capacity, right? And I've talked about capacity so much, but the more we expand our capacity, the more we can hold for ourselves and for our lives and for our vision. And so for me, when I came into the online space and like wanted to become a coach and like wanted to help people and wanted to put myself out there and all the things, I had like slightly unrealistic expectations. Now, I'm not saying you can't launch a coaching program for the first time and sell it out to 25 plus people. I had like these big grandiose things where I allowed myself to be disappointed a few times, where I'm like, I'm going to hit this goal and I didn't hit it. And so I was disappointed, but I actually needed that disappointment. I needed that growth spurt, that growing pain of that not working out the way that I wanted it to in order to expand my capacity. And it works the same way with however many people you get into your programs, you attract in your audience, you talk to online, however many people listen to your podcast. You have to understand that those people are meant to hear your message. They're meant to hear your voice, and they're the perfect amount of people that are in your world that align with the capacity that you have right now. My best thought around holding the frequency for you is to celebrate and honor every single step of your journey. Every single step of your journey. Now, I just posted this whole story about a little bit about my journey. And last night I was on a QCA call. We certify our students in group coaching as well as 7 other modalities. So 8 modalities total that we certify our students in, and group coaching is one of them. And before we get on the call, I'm sitting there with all of these mentor coaches that are on my team. I have 10 mentor coaches that are on my team. And they're amazing. They're so incredibly skilled and gifted, and they help run the program, facilitate with the students, and they're mentoring our students to become the best possible coaches they could be. So throughout the program, our students are coaching the mentors, and the mentors are giving them feedback on their coaching to help them grow. And last night we were reviewing their group coaching projects. And in the group coaching projects, our students bring us real masterclasses or a real part of a program that they want to create. And we give them feedback on their outline and their presentation of the program. And before we went into that call, I'm sitting there with all of these mentor coaches, and I am like having a pinch me moment. I'm sitting there looking at 10 people who are on my team. I employ them. Wait, what? How is that possible? And I think back to when I started, I'm like, I used to hear about people having teams and this and that and help. And my team did this and my team did that. And really, it's wild because I had always wanted a team like that. I've always imagined it. I've always visualized it. Did I think it would be as big as it is? We have a huge team now. And it's really a pinch me moment because I remember putting that desire in motion. And I remember holding the frequency for that feeling, the feeling that I had last night. It was a full, this is a dream come true moment of you manifesting this amazing team that supports the people that come into your program, their students. How blessed am I? How lucky am I? How can I celebrate this feeling? Oh, this feels so good. Oh, this frequency is everything, right? So before I even had this frequency, I would imagine what it would feel like. And I said to myself, years in the making, how can I become the type of person that holds this? And a big thing that I had to break through to hold this frequency of support in my business, in my team, for my mission, for what I'm here to do on this planet, having people work alongside me in that, what did I have to overcome to get there, to hold that, to be that? And I'll share with you one of the big things that I had to overcome was feeling worthy. feeling worthy of support. Like, who am I to deserve this or feel worthy of this? Like, who am I to even have this mission to da da da? I can't even relate to that version of me anymore, but it wasn't that long ago that I felt that way. The who am I voice, the worthiness talk. It was it was really hard to accept that people saw me and my power and my light and my bigness and wanted to support the mission that I have here, and I didn't see it. So breaking through that, working that out has really elevated me and being able to have the capacity to hold the team that we have. And I remember just last night thinking like, wow, this is such a pinch me moment as I'm sharing. And I continue to post in my story, like, how is it possible? Like, if you would have told me at the start of my business that I would attract these amazing souls who want to support me in this way, it blows my mind. And yet I realized that I actually did hold the vision for this. I held the frequency. So, like, when you think back and you're like, if you would have told me today that I would be doing this, I wouldn't have believed you. But actually, I would. I would have believed you because I held the frequency of it. I knew it was inevitable. My success was inevitable. And I think a huge part of holding the frequency is celebrating every single step you take. And over again, choosing to become the type of person that can hold it all. Choosing to become the type of person that knows that your mission is bigger than your fear. Choosing to become the type of person that didn't just dream the dream, but fucked around and found out. Even if it meant you were going to be embarrassed, or even if it meant you might be rejected, or even if it meant this person's not going to like you anymore, even if it meant I've had things that I've shared on here that my mom has expressed to me that she didn't love that I shared, right? She doesn't love that I talk about certain things. When I told my life story in 33 minutes, that's an episode. She didn't love what I shared on that episode. And, we've had to have some like deep talks around how the story of my childhood, the story of my life is also part of her story, but it's also part of my story. And I had to, be willing to have those really hard conversations with people in my life where it would be wildly uncomfortable to talk about these things with, and yet come to some sort of understanding with each other that, I I I get to express this and also respect their wishes to some degree, right? Come to some sort of median ground. But I went back and I posted all these pictures of like when I first hit 6,000 downloads on this podcast. And then when we hit 100,000 downloads on the podcast. And then when we hit 1,000,000 downloads on the podcast, and everything that I I see as I look back is every single step along the way. And I'm looking at my phone as I'm looking at these pictures. I had to become the type of person who grew to 6,000 downloads. I had to become the type of person that grew to 100,000 downloads. When I hit 100,000 downloads, you would have thought that I hit 10 million. I was so elated. I was so happy. I was speechless. I was crying because it meant that much to me to be able to serve all of you in this way. It really meant so much. And that energy grew within me. It built up inside and it was able to expand. And then when I landed my first keynote, I remember being on that stage and asking myself, there's so many beautiful people here. Who am I to be on this stage? I had to work through the imposter syndrome again and again and again to become the type of person who gets to stand on stage and tell her story. And, you know, when we enrolled 100 students into the last cohort of QCA, I had to become the type of person that could hold space for that many people. And I was ready. I was ready because all the years prior, I was in training. And so a big part of holding the frequency is also knowing that everything that you're moving through emotionally, in your life right now, everything that you're moving through, all those thoughts that are moving through your head, all the beliefs, everything that you're moving through, the resistance, the mud, all of that is you in training. You're in training to entrain, right? In training, like IN space TRAINING, in training to entrain, 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 entrain to a higher frequency. You're always in training to entrain to a higher frequency. Isn't that fucking cool? So when you are complaining that you're not there yet, or when you are mad at yourself for not taking action, or when you are feeling down in the dumps because it didn't happen the way you thought it would, you're in training to entrain to a higher frequency. And you get to be the type of person that is always in training to a higher frequency. And I find that as long as you are willing, as long as you are willing to see life in that way, to see life as constant feedback, to see life as constantly feedbacking you, meaning whatever is coming at you is a gift. And it's really hard because we don't really, we're not taught to look at life that way, right? But whatever is coming at you is somehow a gift that you get to work with and mold and know deep down that whatever is going on is helping you entrain to a higher frequency. And when you can take every aspect of life as a learning and every learning as this tool for expansion, you're expanding your capacity to hold more of the frequency that you want. One of the other ways that I hold the frequency for what I want to create is meditation. I sit and I feel the feeling of already having the thing that I want. You already know this, but you don't do it enough. I don't do it enough, but I do it when I feel it. So I went for a walk the other day and I was listening to music and I was dancing and my face was in the sun. And it doesn't have to be still meditation. That was a meditative moment to me. And I just had my face in the sun and I'm just imagining all these powerful students that are coming into QCA. And my goal is to have 100 students again inside of the Quantum Coaching Academy. We're already halfway at our goal right now before we even got into live launch, which is amazing. And to know that I I have the magnetic frequency and power to attract all the most aligned, soul-driven, soul-led, connected students to our program. Like I have no doubt that they will find their way here. And at the same time, I'm just putting out that frequency. I'm just holding it for all these beautiful souls to feel this energy, to feel this program, to feel this transformation that they're about to embark on for themselves and for their clients. And I am holding that energy. At the beginning of my business, my biggest desire, my first program was called Journey from the Heads of the Heart. And my biggest desire was to have hundreds of people in that program. I had huge expectations and high hopes. And I just remember, feeling a little disappointed, but also amazed at the people that did show up into that program. And I'm like, how can I grow this? How can I make it bigger? How can I help more people? I just wanted to create a program that was so transformational that it was just life-changing. And that was always my goal. I always held the frequency of having a transformational program. That was always what I wanted people to experience in the container that I set for them. Did I know years later it would manifest as a coaching certification? Hell to the no. I had no clue. That I had no clue about, right? I had the feeling and the vision for the whole thing, but I didn't know I was going to create a coaching certification. So, like, the universe wants to surprise you and dazzle you with all these little details that get to be uncovered as you live your life. And I had no idea that that unbelievable transformational program that I was going to have was going to end up being a coaching certification. So it was nothing like I originally thought, but everything like I originally felt. Okay. And I want you to really connect to that. It's nothing like you think it's going to be, but it's everything that you feel it's going to be. Boom. That was good. I'm just straight channeling right now. So that was a good one. It's so true, though. It's so true. Like, ah, it's all about what we feel it to be. You don't have to see the whole staircase. You don't have to know what the whole vision is, but can you feel it? Can you hold it in your body? Can you hold on to that feeling for like 28 seconds or more? There's like a manifestation thing of like holding the frequency for 28 seconds of the life that you want to create. What does it feel like in your body? You don't have to know how much money you have to make, but like what does having like more than enough money feel like in your body? You don't have to know the type of program it's specifically going to be, but what does it feel like to help people transform their lives? What does it feel like to see testimonials of people that have taken your program and them sharing that with you? What does that feel like to help someone? What does it feel like in your body when you help someone have an aha moment? That was one that I used all the time to hold the frequency of more clients was the greatest feeling in the world is helping someone have an aha moment. And I would feel what an aha moment felt like for somebody, like receiving that from somebody else. Anytime that I was walking or driving or feeling good or meditating, oh, that aha moment. Oh my God, that feels so good to experience with somebody, right? What is the frequency of being able to have freedom in your life to not have to wake up to an alarm clock every day? What would that feel like? Freedom. What does that look like to you? What does it feel like to you? What about abundance, right? Without knowing how it's going to manifest, without being like, oh, I want to have first class flight and I want to have this and I want to have that. But like, what does that feel like in your body? Because if we can put all those feelings in our body, we are holding the frequency. And then our body starts to vibrate at that frequency. And our body gets to send those signals out to the universe with that frequency. And the universe's job is to match and mirror. Literally, that's the universe's job, like to literally match and mirror our frequency. And so we're always being shown where we get to be in training to a higher frequency and or when our manifestations just manifest out of thin air, seemingly thin air. Everything's just in flow. It's starting to all work out. It's starting to all happen so quickly and so beautifully. And you look around and you're like, wow, I am in perfect alignment with the universe. Everything is possible in this moment. Everything that I want, I already am. It's all right here. It's all right now. And that frequency is the frequency of already having. And when you hold the frequency of already having it, you don't need anything. And when you hold the frequency of not needing anything, you're in the frequency of surrender. And when you're in the frequency of surrender, you just know that the universe already knows, God already knows, source already knows everything that you need to become the type of person to have the vision that you already set. It's all there. And for example, I just hosted Become the Dream Coach Masterclass. And Become the Dream Coach Masterclass was such a powerful experience of helping people step into becoming the dream coach. And that is what I want to help you with. I want to help you become the dream coach. So if you would like to catch the replay of that, you can find the link in the show notes. But if you know that you're ready to join the Quantum Coaching Academy and you want to be certified in all these modalities, you want to transform your life, you want to transform other people's lives, we're waiting for you. We've been waiting for you. And what's interesting too, just to kind of give you a little behind the scenes of my process, like before Become the Dream Coach Masterclass even happened, I was tuning into the feeling of having all these students enroll from the Dream Coach Masterclass, holding the frequency of how the masterclass is received and feeling so connected to all of the people that arrive there and that are meant to be there and watch the replay, and infusing that energy into the masterclass before the masterclass even happens. So, with that being said, I want to teach you all of these things. I want to continue this journey in a more intimate way. I would love to invite you to apply to the Quantum Coaching Academy. Applications to the doors are officially open. So please get your application in, and you will hop on a call. You'll book a call with one of my amazing sales team members who are all past students of the Quantum Coaching Academy. So they can really help you make the best decision for yourself to learn about the program and ask all the questions that you want to make sure it's the right fit for you. We're waiting for you. If you're ready to get certified in 8 modalities, if you're ready to up level the transformation that you're providing to your students, your clients, if you want to transform the way you facilitate and the way you speak and the way you hold space and the way in which you show up as a leader, we've got you. We've got you covered. So apply now. The link is in the show notes. The link for the replay to the masterclass is in the show notes, and I can't wait to see you inside. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If this episode has left an impact on you, it would mean the world to me if you could leave a review, leave 5 stars, and leave a review on the podcast. It would mean the world, and I can't wait to read them. And maybe on my next solo, I'll read some of the reviews. Thank you so much. Much love. Woo! We did some work today. Thank you so much for listening. You know I love my BAM fam. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who you know would love it too, because we live for the ripple effect over here. And how can you best support the show? Make sure you're subscribed, hit the 5 stars, and leave a review on iTunes, and let me know how the podcast has impacted you. I love being part of your real-time journey, so screenshot the episode and tag me and my guests on Instagram at Manifest with Ash. Now say it with me. I am my own power source. I am the master of my own energy, and I deserve everything that I desire. We don't just talk about it over here, we be about it. Now go get 'em.